Got some news for you all, some pretty big news.
Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the goddamn internet. So today we're gonna be talking a little bit about Annalene Pauluna. You know, it's one of our favorite representatives in the US Congress, okay? Yeah, like, guys, I've had a crush on this woman for the longest time. She's such an American patriot, okay? She fights for UAP transparency, and there are not many representatives doing this. She just seems so honest, just like the perfect person, okay? Really big fan of Annalena Pauluna, okay? As you could tell. And today she made a few announcements on Twitter, and some dates was given, so that's really interesting, right? We're gonna be checking all this out and on what's to come. We're gonna be covering this event, this hearing, right? And you know how fucking good all hearings are that happens UAP related, guys. It's gonna be insane. We got Grusch in the house, okay? Like, I can't wait for what is coming, and the credibility and evidence leading to that definitely happening is just overbearing at this point. Ross says it, Weaponized says it, guys. It's happening, and we're gonna be covering all of it. We upload every single day, so subscribe, notifications on, like, that really helps the videos out a ton, okay? And sharing helps the absolute most, guys. We're trying to grow this channel. Soon we're gonna be the fastest growing channel on the motherfucking internet, so make sure you help me out on that, and let's get into it, okay?
I just talked with Mr. Burleson about him onboarding Grusch, so yeah, that's happening April 1st. Well, then, this is the news, end of April, they want to have a skiff briefing with David Grusch, Lue Elizondo, Christopher Mellon, and Arrow. Luna confirmed that to me, so did Burleson. I guess Elizondo and Mellon were in town yesterday and they all met.
So if Lue Elizondo is involved, this must be making Mr. Stephen Greer really fucking irritated, right? And if what he says is true, it's justified. It should make Jake Barber mad, right? Because they are in the same camp when it comes to credibility. They give each other credibility because they are in each other's stories, and they vouch for each other in specific aspects. Like Barber saying he was a agent for Deep State infiltrating Greer, and Greer knows that originally, initially, he was infiltrated like that, and that was Barber's job. So, but Greer has spoken a lot about this Lue Elizondo, right? We've made plenty of videos on him as well, and but Lue Elizondo says, Stephen Greer says Lue is a disinformation agent, okay? He says he's a charlatan, and Lue has also sent some shots that way, so it's just a fucking fight, okay? UAP wars, guys. Subscribe right now. UAP drama alert, right? But yeah, so that's happening, and now Grusch, is he coming forth and giving some credibility to Lue? Because he's gonna be doing this thing with Lue. And I do know that Stephen Greer has gave some credibility to Grusch. So now Grusch is working with a supposed, if Greer's right, disinformation agent. So this is just getting really fucking confusing, right? How does this play out? What is going on right now? Let me know your thoughts, because I guess we'll have to wait to see what these figures say, if they do say anything. But knowing Greer, all the attention, it's gonna make him a few buckos on his fucking C5 app or some shit. I don't even know. But I'm open to whatever happens. If I'm wrong, I'm fucking wrong, and I'm hoping for that, right?
So yeah, wait for it. I'll be dropping those exclusives here in a little bit. Also,
this fucking guy, right? He looks like that white kid in school that, like, is just around the corner from becoming emo and becoming who he was meant to be, right? Just the little, what do you call it in English? But yeah, just that little piece of hair just coming like this. It's like that undercover emo kid, right? He doesn't even know he's undercover yet. But
to Jim Himes, the top Democrat, on Intel about the hiring of Grusch, and guess what? He knew his name and says he's looked into the allegations. I did not expect that out of Mr. Himes. He also says hi to all of you. All right, peace.
It doesn't mean anything unless we deliver. And so I understand now to me, it's just raising the bar, because now there's expectations that we deliver, and I don't want to disappoint, right? So we've got, everybody knows that we've hired him. I don't want to, at the end of the day, have this be, what the disappointment levels that we've seen before. And I'm not suggesting that we're going to have that moment where it, I'm able to go directly into a room and film a UFO. But I'm also trying to do that. I'm trying to get to that point.
Representative Burlington, this guy has our back, guys. We gotta support this MFer, okay? Like, he wants to film these alien craft bodies, whatever he can get his hands on, and just get it out like the representative that he is, okay? This guy's a gem and needs to be protected. So I don't know what he mentioned about disappointment being a possibility. But let's check out what else he says, right?
Where we get into a space, to where we can see any of these crash retrieval vehicles and see any of the alien biologics, anything and everything. So we're going aggressive, and I've got a good partner with Tim Burchett and Anna Paulina Luna.
Love Annalena Paula Luna, guys. Give it up, okay? But at the same time, right, you've got to think about, like, you guys heard the story, right? The Doge team from Elon. This one guy that's, like, high up in that team or some shit is, like, called fucking Big Balls. Yeah, that was, like, a story. Like some millennial motherfucker calling himself Big Balls, just putting his balls in all these government agencies' faces, right? Like, how fucking funny is that? Has to be a simulation when shit like that happens.
So we've got an aggressive team, and I think we're gonna go after it.
That's amazing. So let me ask an obvious question. When you talk about trying to get into those rooms to see the hard evidence, a craft, biologics, is that an acknowledgement, Eric, that those things, in your opinion, exist because you're trying to get in front of them?
I look, when we have reports that there are things that are being studied, I have no doubt that there is a crash retrieval program, and that they're studying what craft that they retrieved, whether that's extraterrestrial or non-human is of another. It's yet to be seen.
Imagine real quick being a fly in one of these skiffs or really important discussion rooms, right? That sounds so amazing. Imagine having access to this type of intel, these types of people. It's just insane. It's like a fucking movie, right? And you're like part of the main crew. Like what? Like, you know, David Grusch, Lue Elizondo, these high stakes meetings, and they give a timeline. Guys, make sure to check out Luna's Twitter account. She keeps posting updates, and I appreciate that. She has not replied to my DMs, but hopefully soon, guys. I'll keep you updated.
Where do you think this leads back to, Eric, when it comes to, like you said, cutting through the bureaucracy of just trying to get David Grusch onboarded on your team and how long that took you? Who do you think doesn't want this to happen? Is it the contractors? Is it, the Lockheeds and the Boeings and the Raytheons of the world, or is there something else?
So, me personally, I think that it is the private aerospace companies that are privy to this tech and trying to profit off of it, or already probably do in various ways, right? It's been 80 plus years, Jesus Christ. They're hiring the best people. They're making it super secretive, higher than the Manhattan Project secrecy, higher than weapons of mass destruction. So that's got to tell you something, right? That we're missing something, and it's fucking big, okay? Watch till the end, guys. Stay with me, cause this is just getting better.
Yeah, I think that it's all of it. It's the contractors that have possession. It's also our our intelligence community that have been guarding this information for quite some time. I was warned to not get too close to the quote unquote green programs, the programs of that we do have, that is U.S. experimental technology that I was told is very advanced, and so that was interesting to get that kind of warning. So yeah, I think that there's certainly some concern that we might, legitimate concern that we might be compromising.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that the US has some very advanced tech, okay, that he is kind of hinting that might be, classifiable as alien because we are not used to seeing this new age of technology, anti-gravity. And J.C. Michaels talks about this a lot. Implications of such a device with a, gravitational force, right? It causes time dilation, and it really brings questions to the table in terms of time travel and it being future humans then, instead of interdimensional or, from another planet. But, we just don't know. Some people do know more, and that's what we're trying to find out. Trying to uncover the veil that's upon us, guys. And we're going to be doing that every single day.
Something that we're supposed to be protecting in national security interests.
It is kind of a double-edged sword that way, right? Like it's really, it's hard. Is it hard to navigate those waters when it comes to, okay, what are we working on that does have national security interest, that really just is our own tech? We got people in a room that have been able to figure some things out, versus something that may.
If this is true, guys, then Stephen Greer was right with this, at least, that there are breakthrough technologies, God knows for how long, and we've not applied it to our societies, right? Because of national security. Our planet is dying, but hey, national security, guys, we got to stay ahead of the Russians and Chinese, okay? But yeah, I just feel like there are better ways to do this, and this is a case of a emergency, something that should have been done a long time ago, and now it's just being kept, right, for profitability. I don't even know why. Like, let me know what your thoughts are on all this. I mean, if this tech is out there, why are the American people spending billions of taxpayer dollars to fund these next generation, classical jets, right? Like Chinese also brought theirs out, 6th gen, I think it's called. F-45, is it the American one that's now? But if these things could be anti-gravitic, how many money is being wasted on these by not admitting that there's better alternatives, right? That's so much wastage. Is that worth wastage? Was that determined?
May not just be people in a room and they got the technology from somewhere else. Like, how hard is that to navigate for you guys?
Yeah, I think that when I had a meeting with Arrow, they kind of spelled it out for me, at least, in a way that we can navigate this. And that is that the topic of extraterrestrial life and UFOs is not a federal secret. It's nothing for the federal government to keep secret. They do not have the authority to keep that secret. The way the Arrow explained it is that what the federal government does have is a responsibility to keep secret any of the ways in which they've documented this. So if they're using advanced imaging satellites or radar, they don't want that to be leaked.
Now we're getting into some really fucking technical side of things, right? And I've been saying this for a really long time, that if it's filmed, if these devices that are super advanced, like the Gremlin and all these weird names for these observation tools, right, built by the government, and it's obviously classified because it's government used, and the less your rivals or adversaries know, the better. But at the same time, if it's just you can release it in a way that does not give any information or indications of what device you're using. You can, if it shows statistics or whatever the fuck, blur it out. Like, just show the object it's observing. Is the coloring or, you know, all that, is that going to give some information out? I mean, we all know about thermal, about all this. Like, maybe there's some tech that I don't even know. Like, it's so weird, right? We're being bottlenecked by secrecy, essentially, right?
Level of technology that they have, if that makes sense. And so that was what I was told by Arrow, which I think gives us a framework to go by to say, okay, we want the documentation, or at least if you've got documents that demonstrate that what these aircraft are, and we can release it in such a way that we're not compromising the technology that the United States government is using and our abilities. That's the needle that we have to thread.
Guys, I'm really starting to like this Representative Burleson. Is that how you say it? He seems like a really cool guy. Seems like he's fighting the good fight, doing what the people want. And, you know, it's weird. It should be expected from all representatives, but let's just be happy when they do the right moves and celebrate this kind of behavior, right? In conclusion, I hope to be seeing more of this guy. In the beginning, I did not know what to think of him completely. But yeah, he seems to be in the group of Tim Burchett, the UAP caucus, I think it's called, and Luna, and all these significant people. I think more people within Congress will be joining this group or fighting for this topic and transparency. But we're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, let's try and have faith in our government, guys. How's that, right?
I will find all my mistakes. Don't like to make pretty girls cry.